Welcome guys, I have a very special deck for you today. Let's start. Hopefully it's legal for our midweek magic. There we go. In fact, I made two decks. I didn't realise it was Alchemy, so I've added some Alchemy cards. So, okay, interesting. It's kind of wanted to show you the deck there for a second, but we will. The deck will become apparent as we go along. We'll just hold. I will in fact just hover over my deck at the start of the game. We'll see if we have. Yeah, that hand looks fine. Yeah, we have. It's an 120 card deck. Let's see. He's only playing 60 cards. Right. And oh look, we could secluded courtyard for zombie, I think. The only trouble is there's one or two types of creature in this deck, but I think secluded courtyard is still good. Okay, yeah, it'll be the red deck. Yeah, we're gonna play against a lot of red. Sure, it's goblins. It's always goblins. Very, very interesting. Yep, rabbit battery on the enthusiast. Okay, we didn't find anything to do, so gain 1 life with the Thornwood Force. So, and yeah, I'll hit him back for 1. Why not? Ah, yes, he has the, of course, all the haste goblins and things. We want to keep the butler on defense, to be honest. Right, so unfortunately this guy's not a zombie, so we can't cast him. And we can't cast the Diagraph Rebirth. So little snag. Okie doke, which one do we want? This is starting to get very castable. Dump a few more creatures in there. Yeah, I think so. And that might help us find a swamp as well. Should be very helpful. Oh no, oh, that can't be good. Oh, he's not pumping the goblins, so that's something. But the goblins have paused. This is amazing news, right? You can get a 3/4 flyer from the graveyard. That's pretty good. We could get a 5/5 we could get quite a lot of things. Oh, we can't get the... no. Silly me, no, we can't do that yet. We still don't have the black mana. So I think the 3/4 flat is pretty good. So I'm at 0. We need those cards in there. That's a lot of goblins, oh goodness. Right. Menace, by the way. Right. How about we take out the guy who gives Menace? How about we just take out a 2/2 and take out a 1/1. We take 5 damage. So he's down to 5 creatures. We get to gain a life point here with the falls. Right. What gets us the most value? We could... yeah, we still can't do Deal Gone Bad. We don't have the black mana. We have just played a land anyway, so even if there was a swamp in there, we can't get it. So we just play the creature. Very good. Maybe we can get the swamp later. I think the Bloodsworn Squire is a very good idea. Maybe we just take the swamp. Maybe that's just easier. No attacks. So if it wasn't already obvious, we're playing a self-mill deck, and the philosophy is the more cards the better in the deck. Yeah, if you can, well, if we can fill it up with, you know, decent, if you can find enough decent self-mill cards. I'm trying a smattering of things here, so I've got a few spells in the deck, like Deal Gone Bad, Digraph Rebirth. So he's not got haste, that one. I'm hoping he's out of steam, but he might have the spell that pumps the team. I think that's his route to victory here. Hasn't got too many more attacks like this. So I guess we'll take out a 2/2. The Butler could bring something back that's going to be very cheap to play out, and we'll take out a couple of 1/1s. Oh yeah, that's a good point. He gets to make a goblin. Yeah, let's exile it. The Squire's pretty good. This guy is nice and cheap. It lets me double spell. This guy can make just loads of insect tokens, so I can just block everything. Which I think that could be more to the point. That should hopefully block his route to victory. We can play a few small creatures. We can also play Deal Gone Bad, because this is making a lot of creatures. But yeah, let's go Vilespawn Spider. And next, no attacks. And turn. Okay, 2/2 flyer. Nice. I think we'll take out the cadet. Yep. Oh, very nice. That's my 4th copy. So I was worried about mono red, well, or just aggro decks in general. Okay, we have 120 cards and 2 Fields of Ruin. We've drawn both of them. Otherwise, this is a good hand, but the chances of my opponent playing any kind of non-basic is quite low, so I think we have to mulligan. I don't think we can, because we won't be able to dig ourselves out of this. Now this is better. I think we'll keep the removal spell. We can drop in at one of the farmers. Right. I think we'll start with the green. I don't think I'll have to Fear of Death on turn 2. Yeah, this is a very solid common. Okay. good rollout of creatures already. Oh yeah, this lets me scry, and then I think we'll play the swamp in that case. We'll Eccentric Farmer, and fingers crossed we can hit a land. I think we save this for evasion creatures, so it's been cut down straight away. What an efficient Monoblack deck, 3/1 mana spells. That's very nice. 4 creatures in there already. Vengeful Strangler is uncommon, that's nice. Okay. What do we want to do? Organ Hoarder just kind of trades off in an unimpressive way, but it does let me choose some cards, so let's do that. Oh, a nice, tell you what, a nice cheap blocker. Both of them are actually. Yeah. So actually, I'd probably just trade off with a Strangler whilst... Okay, oh right, he's just got removal. Yep. Nice. Nice. That's just a very efficient hand, isn't it? But, good news, we've got another cheap creature. So I think we've got to take some measures here. We've got to do Fear of Death on his evasion creature. Okay. Very good. Yeah, I like those. The Undead Butler is just the right thing to trade off with a Vengeful Strangler, I think. Of course, I have just milled that card, but that's fine. Oh yes, that's keeps his momentum going, this kind of card. So yeah, take out the Strangler, get something back. Vilespawn Spiders does seem rather good. Ooh, Snooping Newsie could actually potentially keep me alive. So yeah, let's do a Newsie. Oh, we did it. 2/3/3 lifelinks. Have some of that aggro deck. How much removal have you got left? Three cards. Couple of Infernal Grasps. Diagraph Scavenger. He's got direct damage. It's good against my deck as well. Shuffle cards back into my deck. Would I want to do that particularly? Not really. I think we just swing in because we gain 6 life. He only hits me for 6 damage. So yeah, everything dies, but I gain 6 life. That seems pretty good. We've got the Vilespawn Spider. Got a Druidic Ritual. Yeah. 2 creatures, 2 land. Okay, let's get the Newsies back, because they are awesome. Didn't check if I can actually cast both of them, but yeah, I can with the Crystal Grotto. Nice. Uurg Repossession. So yeah, we could. I think we'll play out the Newsies first. Yeah. Definitely a good hit against the aggro decks, getting the Snooping Newsies. Ah, yes, that's right. Pithing Needle. Something for the sideboard. Gotta say, this deck, a lot of fun to play so far. I suppose it does help when you're winning. Right, we're going to have an awesome secluded courtyard, which is going to name Fungus, I think. Or possibly Spider, but... yeah, I'll tell you what, it's a slightly iffy turn 1. I mean, iffy. It sets me up for doing nothing on turn 2, potentially. So I don't think it's such a good idea. We'll go for just Waterfront District. Okay, we have White Weenie, another aggro deck. Okay, start with the Newsies. Okie doke, yeah, I know he comes back, but that's okay. We'll block him. Ooh, Taxidermist. Very good. I think we'll just play another tap land, another Newsie. couple of land. Not so good. So he can swing with both, and this gets trained up. Okay, that's a 2-1 flying now. I think we just trade with the Orator. It does put another mana value in the graveyard, which is quite nice. So, time has come. So, I'll tell you what, human is going to be a good thing to pick, because then this is going to help me cast everything else if it survives. So, secluded courtyard for human. Taxidermist. And how about just, I think we'd grey slard. Mill 4 cards. Hope for the best. Oh, not quite. The taxidermist though is pretty impressive. That's got first strike, so no attacks. Yep. Training and the herbalist. Okay. So I've got 6 mana. I could, but I've only got 1 source of green. I can only do one of these 2 things. So we have a little problem. So I guess it's 3, 4, 5, 6. Should work. As long as we are not squeamish about tapping our 4/4, should be fine. Pacifism on him, everything attacks. These become 2/3. Okay. So, we can safely take out a Samite herbalist. I think... See, this is potentially gaining me a lot of life back. So do I just take the pain now? It is just 1 off. Which one? Yeah, we're missing a... Actually, if the Deathbonnet Sprout dies, that flips the Newsie, by the way. So I think we block like this. Yes, Newsie's flipped. That is sweet. Right. Oh, Eccentric Farmer, of course, is a human. So we get a reach. Yeah, we get a reach creature. Get the farmer. There's no forests. I guess we'll get a secluded courtyard. There's a whole thing with Viconia exiling stuff. Attack like that, gain 3 life. Guess we'll think about that at the end of his turn. Block with the reach creature. Does he have some kind of combat trick? Use Viconia. Let's exile something. Let's look at my graveyard. Let's get another Snooping Newsie out of there. Okay, sure. And that's not a card I can exile to specialize Viconia, unfortunately. But there you go. Right, I think I'm just about to swing in, but okay. Yeah, I'd say that's been pretty effective, that deck. Up against 3 sort of monocolour aggro decks, and we held our own. What we'll do is do my usual, chuck out a concede to help people get their wildcards. Right, so let's have a look at the deck. So check it out up here. Right, so a little look at the mana curve. So it's 120 cards. About half of it is creatures, 58 creatures. Now you could go. It could basically be well, it's 48 lands as well. So it could be 72 creatures if you wanted. That's definitely a way to go, because there are quite a few creatures in graveyard payoffs, a bit like the Vilespawn spider. But I thought I'd try out some of the spells that have the mill keyword and have graveyard interaction. When you're making this kind of deck, don't just look at the mill cards, because there are. Do a search for graveyard as well. For example, Organ Hoarder is a fantastic card in Artisan. You'll miss this if you just do a search for mill. And the same goes for Uurg, Spawn of Turg, who did not grace us with his presence this time round, but I think I've gone fairly generous on land here. Yeah, it's like having about 25 land and 60 cards. But you see, I've got the curve goes quite high in the deck. The things I've spent wildcards on would be getting 4 Vilespawn spiders. I spent a couple on those. And I think 4 Deathbonnet Sprouts as well. Yeah, I haven't quite gone to 4 Undead Butlers, but that would be the next one I'd go for. Things that are very cheap and very good and very on theme. Next, also, Reclusive Taxidermist is fantastic as well. Again, that's another one I found with just searching for the graveyard keyword. So basically, going to be a 4/4 for 2 mana in this deck, and it ramps things out. I don't think we have much ramp in the deck. You try and pack it with as much mana fixing things as possible, so that are on theme as well. So Circle of the Land Druid, mills for 4, and then you can get a land back from your graveyard when it dies. We don't have a way of sacrificing it, just hopefully it can chump block somewhere. We're trying out a lot of one-ofs, like Sigil of Merkel. It didn't turn up this time. Ghost Lantern, so these are definitely non-essential, these are just things I'm trying out. Cobbled Lancer, that might be very good to play 4 of. Basically it's going to be a 3/3 for 1 mana. Seems good. And also just card draw from your graveyard for 2. As we saw, the Snooping Newsies are very powerful. 3/3 lifelink for 2 a lot of the time. And they seem to save me against these aggro decks. It's quite lucky I managed to draw them. I don't have much to stop flyers in the deck, so it's kind of lucky as well. I drew my Vilespawn spiders. If you want to just fight the aggro decks, you might want to cut it down. I usually play a 90 card version of this kind of deck. But you could cut it down to 60 cards. You just got that danger of decking yourself. But against aggro, you could run 4 copies of Fear of Death and 4 copies of Deal Gone Bad. Or if you really want to deal with aggro, you could just have all the really cheap removal spells that are very popular at the moment at common. Yeah, I'm sorry, I can't think of its name. I guess it's a sorcery speed. Maybe I don't have it. No, it is. Yeah, I don't own any cut downs at the moment. But yeah, obviously, yeah, you could chuck these in the deck if you are worried about aggro. But really, your cheap creatures are your removal spells. There are some quite interesting cards I didn't get to. So Viconia, of course, this is the card in Magic history that has the most text on the card, but it does some interesting things that can be quite useful. So yeah, the black version of Viconia, basically you're doing a raise dead on one of the creatures from in your graveyard or in your opponent's graveyard. The blue one is getting both a creature card and an instant or sorcery. So you get the creature and the spell, and you can cast both of them. So that's part of the reason I've got instants and sorceries in the deck. I do have this way of actually retrieving them, and I think the green one just gives the creature +2/+2. Should mention, yeah, the black version, it gives a 2-point. It adds an end to the board 2-point drain life to the creature, basically. So I was watching Monoblack Magic today. He's made a deck with this involving the Cauldron Familiar. So it does a 3-point drain life when it comes into play, and of course it keeps recycling itself, which is quite evil. Right, this is various ways of just bringing stuff back from the graveyard. I've put in here as well. Rogue's Gallery could be good, of course. That could be a 3-for-1. Yeah, Uurg Spawn of Turg, I guess, is another source of life gain, and again, he doesn't have mill. He doesn't have the mill keyword because he does something special. He does something slightly better than milling. You get to look at the card and choose whether you want to dump it. Yeah, a bit like the Organ Hoarder. I realised Bloodsworn Squire, I should say, is a Lurgoyf type thing. It has power and toughness. The transformed version has power and toughness equal to the number of creatures in your graveyard. You have to pay 2 mana to transform it, basically. But you can also you can give him indestructible. So it seems like a pretty decent Lurgoyf. Right. The War Leech just it's another Lurgoyf type thing with power and toughness equal to the highest mana value in your graveyard. So in this deck we've got some 7 mana things. And it can mill you for 4 cards as well. So I think, yeah, a lot of the Lurgoyf type guys do not... no, Mulgraf Millipede does mill you for 3. And then gets a +1/+1 for every creature in your graveyard, so... That's usually going to be better than the War Leech. I thought I'd throw in one of these just to try it out. And Saravok the Usurper is very, very interesting. So he gives a +6/+X/+0 at the beginning of every combat, where X is the number of creatures in your graveyard. And then he has various specializations that you can seek a creature card and make 2 duplicates of it and put it in the graveyard for the black version. Blue version includes instants and sorceries in the boost. Green version gives the boost and trample. So the green one's probably the best one because it's actually giving a form of evasion. My deck isn't that good on evasion. They don't put it on many of these mill cards, self-mill cards. Yeah, Ambitious Dragonborn is another kind of Lurgoyf type thing, based on the greatest power amongst creatures you control or in the graveyard. Syndicate Infiltrator. Yeah, this is I thought this one might be really, really good because it's got evasion, and it's basically a 5/5 flying for 4. It's just seems to be a good rate, really. Yeah, you might want to play 4 of these. Kaga, Shadow, Archdruid. Yeah, mill 2 when it attacks. And you can play stuff from your graveyard once per turn, which is pretty amazing. So this is like a again, I'm forgetting the name of the Grolnok the Omnivore. This is an uncommon Grolnok the Omnivore type effect, so pretty powerful. So this is, yeah, big zombie with evasion, basically. So this has got mill and reanimation. Yeah, so this is reanimation, and it has flashback, so we don't care if it gets milled into the graveyard, it still could be useful. The swarm. So you can mill yourself. For an amount equal to the number of creatures you're attacking with. And it's another flyer, so thought it was worth a try. Dreadhound is direct damage. Writhing Necromass, it just gets to be very cheap, so 5/5 Death Touch for one black mana seems good. And then the Bramble Wurm. This is another measure you could take against aggro. It's not particularly powerful against aggro, but it's 5 life for 3 mana. Kind of that's why I've only got 1 copy. I wouldn't recommend having 4 of these against aggro, but that could be in a pinch quite handy. But not very not all that reliable or useful. But I just like the idea of having 1 copy. Mana base was okay, I would say. I got to try out Secluded Courtyard with about 20 different creature types, which I thought would be quite amusing. So yeah. But yeah, it's an untapped land. You can just end up with too many tap lands. We've got 12 tap lands in 48, so a quarter of them. It might be too many. Yeah. But anyway, that's the deck. Thanks for watching. I think that's the video. I think I'll probably play a few more self-mill decks. I'll just explain. Miller's Crossing here is the standard legal version of the deck, and it's, I think, 60 cards. Which I made before I realised it was an Alchemy thing, so I might try that in standard play. Right. Yeah, I think that's it.